like something corny. I'm not gonna do it. Okay. Next up, very recently, I read Matriarch by Tina Knowles. Miss Tina B. Now, this was such a treat. It was such a treat. I love a good memoir. I really do. I like people. Well, let me cut that. I do not. I'm not really a fan of people, but I like stories and I like people's stories. I like people telling their own stories because, none of us have that perspective. And I have wanted to read this since, I found out about it before it came out because I have like a slight obsession with mothers, grandmothers, great grandmothers, aunties. I have a lot of family. I've always been surrounded by family, and I love family. And I think that family is one of these things that we talk about, but we don't talk about, and we need to be talking about, okay? Because, my God, there's a lot going on in the world. Anyway, The Matriarch was definitely something that was on my TBR timeline, was on my radar. And it did not disappoint. Miss Tina B is an amazing woman. And she was an amazing girl. So what I do know and what I did get out of this book is that I got a sense of like limitless, bottomless, boundless creativity. I mean, every second, minute, hour, because I listened to the audio. Every page, rhetorical page, there was something being created. There was something going on. There was a problem being solved by this woman and her creativity. And I'm just in awe because I am a huge proponent. I am a huge fan of creativity. That is why I started this channel. I think that human creativity is so overlooked and undervalued. I think that we are all artists and we should, for the betterment of ourselves, tap into those things that make you feel like yourself. And a lot of times that is what you call your own personal brand of creativity. If you are the type of person that is just happy when you're singing, you're happy when you're writing poems and lyrics and raps, you're happy when you're coloring or painting, okay? She was a seamstress, but before that, she was a singer and performer. And now she's a CEO of, well, I shouldn't say CEO, I shouldn't like just throw terms around because I don't know what she is, but they have a hair care brand out right now. And I just think it is so important for people to make things. And I don't know why I don't know why it's like a secret. You should find something to make and make it with passionate abandon. Let me give you an example. I have an engineering degree. You probably don't know that. But when I was in college, studying to be an engineer, I was like, dang, this is a lot of engineering. There's a lot of math. It's a lot of science. It's a lot of projects. It's a lot of calculating and computating. I'm missing something. And what I did was I actually added, I know, stupid. I added a minor in African American Studies. And that gave me an avenue to read and write all while I was calculating and computating. And all that to say, like, we need a balance for what we enjoy in our lives. It'll help us be better at what we're required to do in our lives. It just makes your brain, move and gyrate and kind of like form itself more malleable ways and better ways. If you have a creative outlet, it's easier for you to do things that are not considered like to be traditionally creative because your brain is more flexible. Your brain is happier and is doing more things. And we, especially now when you got AI and people are, the job market is the way it is, you need a release, okay? You need to be able to, if you can believe it, do more things. And part of doing more things is like exploring your expertise in ways that you hadn't thought of before. You see people doing personal curriculums. Okay. It may not seem like it, but that's pretty creative. Like a person that wants to learn all about whales, and they design their own personal curriculum so that they can learn all about whales. It's going to help that person in ways that we can't possibly know before. So we need to take more risks with our time and our attention. And a lot of people understand that we need to get off these phones, which don't click away from my videos, but I'm just conversing with you all here. Yeah, get out, touch grass, run around in that grass, play some laser tag, okay? Learn about how to create a mural. We need more murals. A sketchbook, have your own portable mural, book of murals. Junk journaling. Follow the junk journalists. Follow the girlies that are doing the journaling. Pick up a paintbrush. I've got paint that I've never cracked open, and I've collected cardboard over the years, and I swear one day I'm going to start painting. And, you might not be good at your thing at first, but that's part of the process, Consistency can take you places like you would not imagine. And that's one thing I do appreciate about social media, because I follow artists, and, you'll see some of their processes, and you can see yourself doing those things. You can see yourself doing those things. And I just encourage you, get a little teeny bee in your life. Get a little teeny bee in your life. This was a beautiful book. And like I said, I read the audio. I was like, you know what? Not only am I going to get a copy, I'm going to read it with my son. And we're going to talk about some of these things. And I just got the book. But of course, it has pictures in it. It has 2 sections worth of pictures. So I'm excited.